In today's episode, we are going to look at my son's PF. Now, a lot of people have been asking me, Shashank, what is your strategy with the son's PF? Or what are you doing? What are you buying? Are you averaging it? The market is down at an all time low right now. So, what is your plan? Now, before I begin the video, let me just explain why I even made this son's PF, right? Now, my son was born on May 1st, 2024. So, it's almost 1 year. I think next to next month, it'll be almost a year from when he's born. And the main idea is to start investing for his future, right? Now, earlier, I did invest in around 15 to 20 stocks, which I felt was a big mistake because ideally, if you really want to build long term wealth and do actual wealth creation, then you should have a concentrated portfolio as much as possible. Now, the main idea with this entire portfolio is to keep it for as much as 30 years, right? Because I don't want to keep dipping into this portfolio, buying, selling, and that distraction, I don't want it to be there. I want it to be in such a way where I just keep it and it grows over the next 30 years. Now, when it comes to my investment thesis, every year I keep a target that this is how much I need the portfolio to become from my side, from my investment perspective. At the end of the year, this should how much it should be, right? Now, I don't do monthly SIP. I do SIP or I invest whenever the market falls or whenever there's a big billion day, as I call it. Whenever the market falls by 1,000 points, over a nice downtrend, that is when I invest. Like now, I have been investing even now, right? Now, last year, I think the portfolio had come up to around 7 to 8 lakhs. And now in 2025, at the end of it, I wanted to reach around 15. So 8 lakhs in last year and around 7 to 8 lakhs in this year is what I'm planning to invest in the Sun's PF. Now, why do I do this? Because if I do SIP, I'm even averaging the good times and I'm averaging the bad times. But now what I'm planning to do is I'm just planning to average the down times. Never average on top, just average low. Let it go up, let it fly up, let it come down. I will buy again. Let it go up, let it go down, and I will buy again. Right. So that is basically the thesis behind investing in the Sun's PF. Now this is again for 30 years. So when you invest in a portfolio for 30 years with the notion of investing, obviously it's not like I'm never going to touch it. If something really drastically changes, then I have to touch it. But the idea is not to touch it as much as possible. And when you have that long term vision, the main thing is that you should invest in companies that will last 20 years or 30 years. And you should invest in companies that have good management who know how to navigate for the next 20, 30 years. So when you take big companies like Ambani Group, Bajaj Group, Tata Group, these companies will be there for the next 20 to 30 years and they'll figure their way out because they've been doing it for a very long period of time. So that is basically the investment philosophy. Now let's quickly go into the stocks and let's look at how they're looking at. Some of them have done well, some of them have done terrible. But let's look at what the entire investment thesis is. Now, before we go into the video, I know we're always talking about the future, but there is something that's very important for all of you if you are looking at becoming a much better version of yourself. I hope you guys have started learning about AI as much as possible. And I don't know if you believe this, but companies are now replacing old school people to actually people who have skills in AI. So recently we saw that there's a 38-year-old AI engineer who actually makes more than $100,000 a year, and all his job is to create prompts as much as possible. Now, the world is basically shifting very fast, and the highest paying jobs today aren't just traditional roles, they're also AI powered roles. Now, let me show you some quick stats on this, right? AI in Excel and data analysis, you can get anywhere between 38 lakhs per year as a job. AI in personal branding, which is something that's really big, comes to around 30 lakhs a year. AI in business strategy and content creation goes anywhere between 40 lakhs and 20 lakhs a year. And if you are just an AI in prompt engineering, which is very difficult to do, is approximately 50 lakhs a year. Now, obviously, you want an answer to the solution saying, Shashank, how could we learn all these high income skills, if not for free, but in a very small period of time? Let's say in 3 hours, you want to learn everything. So this is a beautiful opportunity because now I'm going to show you that you can actually go and learn all of this with this AI crash course that usually costs around 15,000 rupees to attend, which is going to be completely free for the first 1,500 guys that go and register with this link. Absolutely free. You don't have to pay any money for this. Just go sit, learn knowledge, and come back. Right? The link is in the description and I'll also put in the pin comments. Basically, it'll teach you anything that there is about data analysis using AI for personal branding, content creation, PowerPoint presentations, Excels, anything, whether you're a working professional or you're not a working professional, you're in sales or marketing, entrepreneur or founder, you should know how to use different type of tools that are there in the market. And this will basically help you with that and also help you optimize your work faster and reach the top 5%. Right? So if you're interested in learning completely for free, then just go and learn this entire thing. The link is in the description and also in the pinned comments. Now let's get back to the video. Now, first things first, I want to look at Nifty. So how do I understand what are the periods of me investing, right? So if you look at Nifty from since September, they have been in a massive downturn, right? You've seen that it's constantly falling down. And this is when I start averaging. Now, obviously, me and you cannot time the market. We don't know what is the low. None of us can predict what the low of the market is. So what I do is I start investing at any given point of time. Whenever it breaks a significant support, like when it broke here, you invest a little bit. When it broke here, you invest a little bit. Even when it comes here, you invest a little bit, because I don't know if it's actually going to go fall down here. Even now, I've invested at this point. I don't know if the market will again go down and do make a point low. So when I know I can't predict the market, might as well take key zones or key support zones and start investing whenever it breaks key support zones. So that is something that I do. I always average when it breaks key support zones, because I cannot time the market perfectly. Now, coming to the stocks that we have, if you look at it deeply, right, I'll go through it one by one and I'll show you all the stocks that are there from top to bottom, one by one, that I've invested. Now, if you look at this entire portfolio, as you can see, I've almost invested 11 lakhs till now, 10 lakh 88,000, and recently I've started averaging it. Now, this is not a lump sum basket. This is an averaged basket. So I've been averaging buying over different investment points. And now it has reached a basket of 10.88. Now, this is something that I just want to go up to 15 by the end of 2025. So I let the compounding as much as possible go through it. But if you see the last 1 year, the market has actually fallen more than it's actually gone up. So this has given me a beautiful position now that the market is now sitting at minus 13%, and I'm very happy. But why is it minus 13%? Because I've been investing for a very long period of time. I've been averaging, and I've taken stocks that are mostly in the large cap space. That is why you don't see my portfolio even today at minus 25, minus 30. Right? So that is basically how it is. So 10.88 lakh has been done. Current returns are minus 1 lakh 58,000. As you can see, the realized returns are only 4,400. That means I have not exited any stocks in loss. As of now, it is still at a profit of 4,400. The dividend has come almost 3,900, which is great. Now let's look at the stocks one by one. Now, the company that has done really good for me is a company called Indian Hotels. And as you can see here, Indian Hotels is a company that has still managed to stay afloat above at 11.5%, even after I've averaged it over a long period of times. Currently, if you look at IHCL, which is Indian Hotel, is basically Taj. Now, the idea behind investing in Indian Hotels was very simple, that this was a company that was there during my father's time. This was a company that was there during my grandfather's time. And I'm pretty sure this is a company that will be there even during my kids' time, right? And this company, as you can see, in the last 1 year has only been going up. And in the last 3 years also, it has been significantly on a higher trend. And where I've invested, my average buying price is around 666. So you can see that my average buying price has come to somewhere around this range. So around 13 September ka range was my average buying price. So even now, after that entire fall and up, it has still maintained above my average buying price, right? So that is how it is. Next, I bought significant amount of Reliance Industries. As you can see, you can see it is still only minus 5%, because I've been averaging it day in, day out. So Reliance Industries is something that I've averaged minus 5%, no problem at all over here. It actually holds 11% weightage, and I will show you in the end what the weightages are. It holds 11% weightage. Pidilite is another company that I have bought, which again I feel is a very strong compounder over a long period of time, and it has not created any reasons or issue fundamentally for me to actually believe that it is a bad company, right? So even though you can see that from September it has gone down from 3,300 to 2,700, and the P ratio is also contracted. Even now it is at 69. Imagine how much it was before, right? It was sitting at 104. Definitely 104 is a very, very premium valuation for this. But because I've been averaging it and it's a good company, I have to look at the fundamentals. And the fundamentals still suggest that this is a company that is constantly growing, and there is no tension about this company at all, because this is a simple, peaceful year-on-year compounder over a long period of time. So if you look at the compounded sales growth, they grow by 11%. And if you look at the compounded profit growth, it's growing by 15%. So if the company grows at 15% every single year for the next 15 years or 30 years, the stock price will ideally grow slightly above that. And as you can see, it is around 17% here. No problem with 17% return. Very, very, very happy about it, right? Because there'll be phases of bull and bear. After that, you will see that there are some IT companies, right? So let me just show you that. Now you can see the IT companies. You will see that I have an IT company called TCS. TCS, again, no stress. It has gone down. IT companies have gone down, which also gives me a good zone to average. No questions on that. Tata Power is another company. And as you can see, Tata Power is again a very interesting company that I believe will be there for a very, very, very long period of time. Now, why I say this, it will be there for a very long period of time, is because I feel that Tata Power is just starting now. And within the next 5 to 10 years, their aggression on the plans that they have is again insane. So I believe Tata Power will do really well. Coming to the next one, KPIT is something that I again have. Again, an IT company has actually gone down. A lot of people got scared when it went down. I just bought more. Whenever people get scared like this, I buy more. KPIT is maybe like a moonshot bet, right? If you look at all the other companies, you will be like, Shashank, these other companies are really, strong, backed by good management. What about KPIT? It's still a mid-cap company and you're taking a bet for 30 years on this. So this is the only company that is on the iffy zone. Like, it might play out, might not play out. But if you ask me, I have very strong conviction, because look at this. It's a company that is at 35,000 crore market cap. How I look at things, right? Very good ROE and ROC, obviously because it's an IT company. Management prides themselves in saying that we have never given a loss quarter and we've always given a profitable quarter. So they have this pride that they have. The last 5 years, free cash flow is around 2,400 crores. Yes, they did lose some customers, but that is very common in an IT space, where sometimes they lose customers and then they gain customers again. So this is a company that has been growing quite drastically after they've split themselves up away from KPIT Cummins, and it's become just pure KPIT, and it has been growing. Now imagine this growth for the next 30 years. I feel this should become a 100 bagger in my opinion, because today it is at 33,000, 35,000 crore market cap. For it to reach 3 lakh crore market cap is not difficult. And if I fast forward 20, 25 years into the future, the market cap cutoff of large cap companies, which is today 1 lakh crore, in the next 20 years should be around 20 to 15 to 20 lakh crore should be the cutoff for large cap. And I surely believe KPIT should, if it continues and the future of electric vehicles and all of that kicks in, which inevitably it will, I feel this will start doing really well. Right. Coming to the next company, that is Colgate Palmolive. Right. Colgate, I don't know why there is doubts on this company. It is just one of the best companies, very good beta as well, 0.63. But leave beta, it is just a very good company giving good dividend over a long period of time. Until and unless people stop brushing their teeth, I think I'm completely fine with this, right? Looking at Varun Beverages, I feel another beautiful bet that I've taken here. And this is something that's giving me opportunities again and again and again and again to buy. But because think about this, are people going to stop having Pepsi, Coke? Answer is no. Yes. Is there Campa Cola coming in? Answer is yes. But the market is growing at such a beautiful pace, right? I feel this is just going to double, triple, fourple. I don't see this anything less than a 10 bagger in the future. And it has never given me any fundamental trigger to say that I need to sell this company as of today. It has only grown and only given good result. Yes, it might not grow at 20%, might grow at 15%, might grow at 12%. I don't care. As long as it's growing, and even if it's growing at 12%, I know that this will compound in my portfolio, right? Now, coming to the next one, now coming to the final two, which is actually hurt my portfolio a lot, right? The two companies that have hurt my portfolio a lot. One is Geo Financial Services and one is IGIL. Now, Geo Financial Services, I think most of us don't even know what this company is doing. The only reason I bought this company is because it has the brand and the backing of Ambani, and I know eventually he will do something about it. And I'm sure that in the next 30 years, this should give a good return. That is the only reason I bought it, nothing else. So I'm still waiting for this to play out. I'm still averaging it constantly. Even though it is down 25%, I'm averaging it again and again. And the final company which came out recently with a not so great quarter is IGIL. Now, yes, this is a very recent company that's come out, IGIL, but I'm quite bullish on it, because very rarely do you get to see companies that operate at 80-85% gross margins, 30% PAT margins, ROC, ROE at almost 70-80%. It's very rare you see companies like this, right? And it all depends on the future of lab grown diamonds. Now, obviously, I have no idea what the future of diamonds is, but I know diamonds will exist in some form or the other, right? Whether it's natural diamonds or lab grown diamonds. And I have a feeling that we will move towards lab grown diamonds, because a lot of people today are very conscious about blood diamonds and natural diamonds. So if my logic plays off and the bet plays off, again, I have time, I have patience. If that pays off, then I think my son should enjoy this IGL's return that comes in the future. I would like to add, as you can see, there's very few companies here. And if I split with respect to weightage, you will see that Pidilite and Reliance currently take my highest weightage, which is very strong. Both the companies are taking almost 23% of my portfolio. And if you add Colgate, it takes almost 30% of my portfolio. So 1/3 of my portfolio is already taken by the top three strong companies. So that's why I'm very safe. And my other bets, you can see IHCL, IGL are all slightly lower in the portfolio range, right? Now, I would like to add another company, because I've identified another holding company that will be there for the next 20 years, provides good returns, gives good dividends. I might add that maybe this month or next month. I'm not sure. But in my next averaging cycle, I will add that into this portfolio. What I'll have to do is I can't average the rest, because that stock price itself is around 11,000 rupees per share. And if there's already 11 lakhs here, then I have to put 1 lakh into that stock only to get the weights back to average. So that is basically how I'll have to play this out. Now, coming back. Now, anyone has any questions, any doubts, please put it here. It was just a quick video on my son's portfolio and what the logic is. And I keep updating everybody about it. This is mainly for people who have children or are planning to have children or are planning to plan for their future, this is how I'm trying to plan for their future. This should basically take care of everything, whether it's further studies, marriage, whatever it is, it should take care of. And I will give all of this back to him. I would still tell him, don't sell it, because if your father could compound it for 30 years and you reach the age of 25, 30, then imagine another 30 years if you can compound. And even out of this, I'm not expecting all stocks to do well. I don't know if IJL will do well. I don't know if KPIT will do well, but I don't care, because the max loss I can get on those 10 stocks is only 100 rupees, right? Like, for example, if I invest 100 rupees in a stock, even if it goes to zero, I only lose 100. But if I keep it for 30 years, I know the remaining 8 or the remaining 7 or the remaining 6 or even the remaining 5 will compound. So all I need is 5 to compound. 5 can, become zero also, I don't care. But I know the 5 that compounds will cover up by huge margin to all the other companies. So I just need few winners, not all. But I'm just spreading my bets around 10 bets, and maybe 11th one will come soon. But that is basically how it is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and like this video. If you have any doubts, any questions, put in the comment section below. And I keep posting regular updates on my YouTube community. Recently posted on IGIL. I've been posting constantly about multiple things. So if you want to stay up to date with the market and you want to know my insight during this falling market, then you can definitely join the community. You will not get disappointed. This is me, Shashank, signing off. Take care. See you guys. Bye bye.